Good morning. I got a loud good morning back there. I'm liking it. My name is Pastor Steve Brown. If I haven't had a chance to meet you, I look forward to that. I know we have a number of guests today, and we're thrilled about that. Today we are so privileged to have with us some friends that I actually had back in high school. They're in my youth group, so don't ask them any stories about me back then, please. It'd be way embarrassing. Kim and Annie Colich are missionaries with Wycliffe Bible Translators, and they are working with a group of people in Papua New Guinea called the Tommy people. And they have been working there since 1991. Their goal was to translate the Bible into the language of the Tommy people. But here's the deal. When they got there, and they knew this ahead of time, of course, the language of the Tommy people was not written down. There were no words to spell. There was no grammar written down. Nothing. And so they had to spend a lot of their first years just sitting with a notepad with the people in the village and trying to understand words and then how to spell the words and do they need to add letters to the alphabet or take letters away, and then how does the grammar work? And those first 2 years, there was very, very slow progress. And I know from talking with them that there are times they were discouraged and frustrated. But God in His wisdom and His foresight, He knew the day. He knew the day when that would open up. And in the last few years, since the last time they were with us, these are missionaries that we support, God has really brought forth a flood. And they have now actually completed their first translation of the whole New Testament and are well on their way to the Psalms. So isn't that awesome? And in these next few years, they're going to be checking that and getting it right. And then in a few years, there's going to be that big day when the New Testament and the Psalms will be dedicated to the work of the Lord. Now, just try to wrap your heads around that, church. They did not even have a language written down before these dear servants went there. And now for generations, far beyond any of us that are here in this room, there'll be generations who will be learning their language, reading their language for the first time because of their work. Not only have they translated, the Bible, but they've created grammars, and they're working on a dictionary, and they have children's books and health pamphlets. Is that what on understand? They're the folks that in the history of these people will be those folks that help them solidify their language. And we've been supporting them. In our budget, my favorite line in the budget is when it says Wycliffe Bible Translators, because we support them with our budget. And I want to say that if that's something, as you hear their message and you're interested in participating in, you can do that individually, directly with their organization, or contribute to our budget offering. Just say Wycliffe, and we'll add to what you are giving on top of what we already give. And there'll be chances for you to talk about that afterwards. So we're excited to have them with us today, and I look forward. And they have prayer cards that you can pick up, and it has all the contact information on that. So Kim is going to also teach us today that through our Redeemer Jesus, our chains have been broken, and how we are to share that message with others who still feel in bondage. So, right now, I want you to get out that connection card that's in your bulletin. We're going to change it up a little bit today. I'm going to ask you to begin filling that out, especially if you're a guest with us today. Give us that information, because that's helpful for us to connect with you, learn who you are. Right after I give these announcements, we're going to start collecting the offering during the children's sermon, which is a little different from what we've done, so get ready for that. If you are joining us online, you can encourage you to complete the connection card form on the website. If you are connecting with us through the Roku channel, please visit our website at stlukecolumbus.com for that information. We have a pretty significant need in our church right now. And we've announced this, and we haven't got a lot of volunteers. So we're hoping that today I'm going to put on the big, encouragement here. And that is for volunteers in our nursery. I always believe that the nursery is the second most important room in the church. So we are seeking volunteers to share the love of Jesus with our babies and toddlers on Sunday mornings at 9:30 and at 10:45. You can sign up on the back of the connection card if you'd like to help. And you're like, well, that's when I worship. Well, maybe one Sunday a month or once every 2 months you can give that service. It'd be so helpful. As you've been hearing the last number of weeks, we're going to start a sermon series in September called You Drive Me Crazy, which is about relationships and experiencing what we want most and really what God wants most for us in relationships. Well, the best way to experience that is within a life group where you can talk about what you've heard in the teaching. And whether you're ready to try a life group for the first time or rejoin a group, restart a group that you've been involved with, we hope that you'll take time for this. You can register on the back of the connection card to sign up, and we'll get you placed in a life group. You can do that today. Our Kits of Care donation drive is nearing its home stretch. The item for this week are boxes of crayons, 24 count, okay? The best place we found to purchase these are in bulk through our Amazon wish list. If you're unable to shop, you can consider making a financial donation. The rest of the needed items are listed in the back page of the bulletin. And finally, I have a great announcement to make. Our Children and Family Ministry Director, Colleen and Adam, have welcomed into the world a new baby girl, Scarlett Blake Zilke. All are doing very well, and as soon as they put the announcement on the Facebook, I'll show a picture of me holding her yesterday, so that'll be great. So we're going to receive our offering now. Right now, though, as we're doing that, I want to invite all the children over to the cabin for Annie's going to have a children's sermon.